1A. Listening. A. Read the statements below and guess whether they are true or false. Guess if they are true or false. 1. 1 out of every 3 people in the world speak English. This means if you meet 3 people randomly from different parts of the world, it is expected that one of them should speak English. 2. There are just under 1 billion people learning English. Under 1 billion means less than 1 billion people. Just under means not a lot, less than 1 billion. 3. The English language is used at major sporting events around the world. Major means big and important. Sporting events like the Olympics. The Olympics is a major sporting event. 4. 75 million letters and postcards. Letters like emails written on papers. Postcards just like letters, but you don't fold them and put them inside envelopes. That is one difference, and they usually have pictures. In English are sent every day. Sent is the past participle of send. 5. More than 75% of the content of what you find on the internet is in English. 6. Very few non-native speakers of English. I am, معتصم, a speaker of English, but I am a non-native speaker. That means I speak English as a second language. I speak Arabic as the first language. Write articles. Articles are pieces of writing that you find in a newspaper or a magazine, or blogs, web pages that are uploaded by certain individuals on the internet in English. 7. In the future, Mandarin might be used more than English. Mandarin is a language spoken in China. It will be used more than English on the internet. Which of these do you think is true? Which of these do you think is false? We will now listen to our recording and find out more.
Good afternoon. Today I have with me Donald Turpin from East Durham University, and we are going to talk about English, the language which is fast becoming the world language. Welcome, Donald.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So, how many people across the globe speak English?
The current figure is estimated to be about 1.5 billion people.
Really?
Yes, and if you consider the population of the world, which is 6.7 billion, that means approximately 1 in 4 people on the planet can speak English.
That's interesting. And I expect these numbers are growing.
Yes, English is the most taught language in the world, with over 1 billion people learning it.
Well, I often hear world leaders and politicians from different countries speaking in English, and major events like the Olympics are conducted in English.
Yes, if there is a world language, I think we can safely say it's English. Most of the world's communication is in English. In fact, 75% of all letters and postcards are in English.
And I expect it's the same for the internet.
Definitely. 80% of internet content is in English, and over 1/3 of the 1 billion web users are English language users.
And these users are not necessarily native English speakers, I understand.
Not at all. Many non-natives choose to write articles or blogs in English, so their work has a wider audience.
That makes sense.
However, research shows that the increasing number of Chinese web users means that in the future, most of the web could well be in Mandarin.
An interesting thought. Okay, let's talk more about the effect that English has.
Now write T for true or F for false. After you finish, continue to check your answers. Read the listening transcript with me. Presenter, the one running the show, and Donald is the guest. Good afternoon. Today I have with me Donald Turpin. Donald Turpin is the name of the guest from East Durham University. University is where you study after you finish high school. The name of the university is East Durham. And we are going to talk about English, the language, which is, we use which is to give more information, to give a definition for the English language, which is fast becoming the world language. Welcome, Donald. It's a pleasure to be here. I am very happy to be here. So, how many people across the globe? Globe is this world, planet Earth. Across the globe, from all around the world, speak English? Okay, the current figure is estimated. Figure means number. The current number means not the future number or the past number. No, the number that we have now is estimated, not exact, but almost, to be about 1.5 billion people. For your information, 1 billion equals 1,000 millions. So that's a lot of people. Really? Yes. And if you think about the population of the world, the number of people who live in the world today, which is 6.7 billion people, that means approximately around 1 in 4 people. 1 in 4 means 1 out of 4 people, the same thing. Do you see 1 out of 3 people, 1 in 3 people? That is the same thing. On the planet is our world, planet Earth. There are other planets in the universe like Mars, Jupiter's, can speak English. So is this true? No. 1 out of 4 people, not 1 out of 3. That's interesting, and I expect, when you expect, you think that something will happen. These numbers are growing, increasing. They are getting more and more. Yes, English is the most taught language in the world. Taught is the past participle of teach. Teach, taught. With over 1 billion people learning it. So there are just under 1 billion people learning English? No. Not under, no. Over, more than 1 billion people. Well, I a lot hear world leaders. Leaders like prime ministers, kings, presidents, and politicians. Politicians, people you see on the news from different countries speaking English, and major events like the Olympics are conducted in English, organized and carried out in English. So English language is used at major sporting events. That is correct. Yes, if there is a world language, I think we can safely say, without getting in trouble, it's English. Most of the world's communication, when people communicate, they contact each other by calling each other, by texting each other, is in English. In fact, 75% of all letters and postcards are in English. So is this true? 75 million letters and postcards in English are sent every day? Well, we don't know. We know that 75%, not million, of the postcards and letters sent every day are in English. So this is false. And I expect it's the same for the internet. Definitely, of course, surely, 80% of internet content is in English, and over one third of the 1 billion web users, people who use the internet, are English language users. That means more than 330 million people. Is this true? More than 75%? Well, actually, the content of the internet is more than 80%. Not just 75, more than 80. So it's definitely more than 75. And these users are not necessarily native English speakers. They could be native English speakers and they could be not. I understand Not at all. Of course not. Many non-natives, like me, choose to write articles or blogs in English. So their work has a wider audience. People who read what you write. Wider, bigger. When you write in Arabic, only Arabs will read what you write. If you write in English, Indians, Filipinos, Japanese, Americans will be able to read what you write. So is this true? Very few non-native speakers of English write articles or blogs on the internet in English? No, many of them. That makes sense. I understand why they do that. However, research shows when you study something seriously to find facts about it shows that the growing, the same thing, increasing and growing, these are synonyms. Increasing number of Chinese web users means that in the future most of the web could well be in Mandarin, not in English. This means in the future Mandarin, Chinese language, may be used more than English. It is true. An interesting thought, an interesting idea. Okay, let's talk more about the impact that English. C. Discuss. What purposes do you use English for? For what reasons do you use English? For many purposes. 1. For online shopping, you can buy things online. For entertainment, you can watch TV shows in English. And for communicating with foreigners, you can talk to people who don't understand Arabic, whom you meet at hospitals and many other places. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please share it with friends. I'll see you again next time, inshallah. Goodbye.